Hobbies. Number one, do you have any hobbies? Yeah, I have many hobbies, especially the ones related to art, like filmmaking, playing music, dancing, reading, watching movies. Listening to music is also something I really enjoy, and whenever I have free time, I try to engage in these activities because they bring me joy. Yeah. Did you have any hobbies when you were a child? I think my childhood hobbies are quite similar to my current ones. When I was a kid, I loved reading, listening to music, watching movies, and reading books, and even enjoy playing video games. So, yeah, these are still the things I enjoy today. Do you have a hobby that you've had since childhood? Yeah, I told you before, right? I had a few hobbies since childhood that I still enjoy today, such as listening to music, reading books, watching movies, and even dancing. Yeah, I've always loved reading, especially novels and fiction, stuff like that. And I also have a strong passion for music and films, and I continue to cherish these hobbies today. Do you share any hobbies with members of your family? Yeah, my brother and I share some hobbies, I would say, like listening to music, watching movies, and reading books. But I would say that the types of books, the types of movies, and the music we enjoy are quite different. And I would say that we have different we have different tastes in these things. But I think our love for reading, watching movies, listening to music is something we both share. Do you like swimming? Yeah, honestly, I quite like swimming, but I rarely swim. And this is because I have a chronic ear, nose, and throat condition, including my allergic rhinitis. And my doctor advised me to avoid swimming, and I'm not allowed to let water get into my ears. Yeah. So since university, I haven't been swimming, although I really enjoyed it. But I can swim, and because I can float on the water, but yeah, I haven't swum for a really long time. Was it hard to learn how to swim? I don't think it's hard to learn how to swim because when I was a kid, when I was in primary school, my mother took me to a pool, and yeah, I didn't have anyone teaching me, and I just tried to flow on the water by myself. After a few hours of plashing around, I was able to float. Yeah. And then I learned by watching others around me how to swim. So I believe that if you enjoyed swimming, you will pick it up quickly and easily. Yep. Where do people in your country usually go swimming? I think people in Vietnam tend to swim in water parks like Đầm Sen or Đại Nam, or at beaches in provinces like Hồ Vũng Tàu or Thanh Hóa. Yeah. And I think most people prefer to swim at the beaches because Vietnam has many beautiful beaches. What's the difference between swimming in a pool and swimming in the sea? I think the main difference is that the water in the pool is usually cleaner than the water in the sea, because I see that seawater often contains a lot of impurities, but while the pools are continuously filtered, which keeps the water clean. Yeah. And besides, in a pool, the space is smaller and there are no waves. On the other hand, swimming in the sea is a lot more fun with the waves, and many people enjoy swimming in the sea for that reason. Yep. So I think that's the difference. Do you like advertisement? Actually, I don't really watch advertisements. So every time I come across one, whether on TV, YouTube, online, yeah, I just ignore it and turn it off immediately. Yeah. So I would say that I'm not a fan of watching ads. So what types of advertisements do you like? If I had to pick one or two, I would say it would probably those related to food, or maybe advertisements about music or movies. Yep. Yeah. But these arts need to be interesting and engaging. Yeah, and they need to catch my attention and keep me interested. So yeah, I would definitely enjoy them. So to be honest, yeah, I tend to like ads that's all about food and those related to art, music, and movies. Maybe because I'm a food lover. Maybe because I'm a music lover. So that's why. Yep. Was there any advertisement that impressed you when you were a child? So when I was a kid, I remember an advertisement for milk that had a really catchy slogan. So the phrase, "We are the happy cows," kept repeating over and over again. And the ad was very colorful and eye-catching, with images of cute dairy cows. So the slogan was something I heard every day. It stayed in my mind. Yeah. And even now I can still recall it vividly. Books and reading habits. Do you often read books, and when do you read them? Yeah, I do like reading, and I would say that I read a lot, especially in the evenings. Yeah, because from morning to afternoon I'm busy with works and I don't have much time for reading. But in the evening I have more free time to enjoy reading. Yeah, I would say that reading is one of my hobbies. And I read both physical books and ebooks, but honestly, I read more on my phone than on paper. Has your reading habit changed over time? I don't think my reading habit has changed much, but when I was in school, I remember I had more flexible time to read because I can read during the day. Yeah, I can read whenever I want it. But now I mostly read in the evening because of my busy work during the day. So I just have time to read at night. Yeah. Have you ever read a novel that was adapted into the movie? Yes, I've read the Harry Potter series. It's a very famous series with many different books, and the writing style is really captivating. Yeah, I written both the Vietnamese and English versions. And the Harry Potter films were also well made with great casting, and I'm still prefer the book version. And this is the novel that was adapted into the movie. Yeah, that I read. Do you prefer reading books or watching movies? To be honest, I prefer watching movies just a little bit more. Yeah, I I prefer watching movies because I can experience the story through visuals, camera angles, dialogues, voice acting, and even the colors used in the film. Yeah, so I think movies like the seventh art. So I enjoy them a lot. Time and evening. Do you prefer mornings or evenings? Definitely evenings. I would say that I'm a night person. So I prefer the evening more because I think it's a very peaceful time. I can focus 100% on working or resting. Maybe because I'm just someone who enjoys the darkness. I love the night because it gives me a sense of calm, and I feel more at ease in the evening. What do you usually do in the evening? In the evening, I usually try to exercise or practice dancing between 6 and 7 p.m. Afterward, I will have a light snack for about 30 minutes and then take a shower. Then I either relax or do some work. And finally, I go to bed. Yeah. What did you do in the evening when you were a child? When I was a kid, I usually did my homework in the evening. And after finishing my homework, I would read comics, listen to music, or do things I enjoyed on a computer. And then I would get sleepy and go to bed. Yeah, so when I was younger, I slept a lot. Yeah. Is there anything different about what you do in the evening now compared to the past? I don't think there's a difference because I usually spend time exercising, eating, resting to recharge for the next day. Yeah. And when I was a student, I did similar things in the evening. So that's why I think there's not much change between now and the past. Feeling bored. Do you often feel bored? Yeah, sometimes I do feel bored, but not something that happens often. Yeah, it's not something that happens often. Yeah. For example, like I might feel bored after watching a boring movie in the cinema, or or when I'm doing tasks that I think are a waste of time. But in general, I would say that feeling bored is a rare experience for me. When do you feel bored? It can happen. Like feeling bored can happen when I'm watching something that doesn't interest me, like a bad movie or a boring drama, or even when I'm stuck doing repetitive or meaningless tasks. Yeah. What do you do when you feel bored? When I feel bored, I try to engage in activities that I find beneficial for myself. Maybe I can read a book, go for a walk, or have a conversation with people I care about. I also learn something new, like picking up a new skill such as cooking or exercising. Yeah, so I think keeping myself busy with activities help me overcome the feeling of boredom. Do you think boredom is different in childhood and adulthood? Yeah, it can be different because in childhood you may feel bored when you have to study subjects you do not enjoy, but you still have to do them, right? But when you are mature, when you are an adult, it can be you might feel bored when you have to do work that feels like a waste of time or doesn't seem useful. So I think that the feeling of boredom can still happen in both childhood and adulthood, but the emotional experience may differ.